So hey guys, welcome to another episode of Me in History. This week I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a 3-part series about the explorations of the 15th, 16th, and 17th centuries. So stay tuned. Today I'm going to be starting with Spain. So in the late 15th century, Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Spain, the monarchs of the century, they funded Christopher Columbus's journey to establish a trade route between Spain and Asia. But in 1492, the Italian explorers sailed off in the Nina de Pinta and the Santa Maria and unknowingly wound up in the New World, which is kind of a fail because he meant to go to Asia, but then again, he found the New World. So that's kind of a win. There he interacted with the native populations and saw the exotic foods, spices, and bits of gold. So he went back to tell of the riches in the New World, and they sent him on 2 more trips exploring South and Central America. During one of these voyages, he met the Taino people of South America, and they rebelled against the oppressive regime of the Spanish because they were super harsh to them. So that was a fail, because the Spanish didn't get goods or cooperation out of the natives. However, Columbus is accredited with opening the New World to European exploration and colonization, which is a win for the Europeans, not quite for the natives. The newfound intercontinental network of trade across the Indian, Pacific, and Atlantic Oceans became known as the Columbian Exchange, which is a super duper win if you've ever heard of it. This transfer of food, spices, people, and ideas led to an intermixing of cultures that paved the way for a new breed of American people, which is a super win. But this also meant that natives were exposed to diseases like syphilis and smallpox, driving many tribes to the brink of extinction, which is a super duper fail and it's super sad. Years later, in 1519, Spanish explorer Hernan Cortez reached Mexico City and found the Aztecs. The Aztecs were probably my favorite tribe. They lived in northern Mexico, and they exhibited a highly advanced understanding of mathematics, science, astronomy, and agriculture. They developed methods of predicting weather and were one of the first cultures to establish an accurate lunar calendar. Super duper win. They were really smart. But when Cortez reached the heart of this ancient civilization, he met with the Emperor Montezuma, and when he was given a gift, he took it as a sign of weakness, and from that point on, it was the beginning of the end for our Mexican friends. In 1532, a similar situation happened when the crown sent another explorer named Francisco Pizarro to South America. There he met the Incan tribe, and with the use of superior weaponry and the introduction of diseases to the population, he wiped them out. Which was a huge fail because the Mayans, the Incans, and the Aztecs were some of the most advanced human beings on Earth at the time. It seemed at this point in time, the treatment of natives gradually worsened more and more as Europeans settled in the Americas. This led to Bartolomé de las Casas to write about the mistreatment in Latin America, leading to the Protestant idea of the Black Legend. This is such a win for Bartolomé. Like, speak the truth, man. You do you. Meanwhile, in North America, Ponce de Leon began exploring Florida in order to establish Spanish ties in that region. While Ponce de Leon's expedition up north proved to be successful, Alvar Núñez Cabeza de Vaca and his crew were not so lucky. They accidentally found themselves in the region near Texas and Arizona, stranded with little supplies and lack of resources. Only a few of the crew survived, and they finally tried to make it to New Spain down in northern Mexico. This was a super fail. They had to abandon their mission because they were not prepared. In addition to the lack of preparation, the hostility of natives made it hard to settle in present-day North America. For example, in 1540, Francisco Coronado was met with intense native hostility in present-day Arizona and New Mexico and was forced to flee to Texas, Oklahoma, and parts of Kansas. This was a fail. A pattern was beginning to emerge for the Spanish. After years of failure after failure, they were about to give up in the New World, but the French began to become interested in territory in the Americas, and this changed. Led by French Protestants, a colony was established along the St. Johns River in Florida, so the Spanish stepped in and kicked them out before they could gain any more power. After kicking out the French, they set up a settlement in St. Augustine, and the spirit of the Reconquista manifested itself in Florida. It became a haven for religious freedom. This was a win for the Spanish, but a fail for the French, because the French lost, and they were kicked out. Despite this win, the last fail of the Spanish came from Don Juan Onate. He claimed the territory in New Mexico and split it up to give to the priest. The Pueblo people got mad, and in 1598, they rebelled. Blood was shed, and people died. This was a fail. So guys, I'm really sorry to leave you on that note, but that's all the time I have for today. I'll see you tomorrow with another episode. I hope you really enjoyed it and learned something.